Let's do a little word association, shall we? Okay. Jared Tenorti, champion. Jack Studnicka, future. Alex Ovechkin, goals. Trent Frederick, horny. Patrice Bergeron, horny. Tom Wilson. The rage of a million hockey fans crying into the abyss for justice. Low-quality fans of a high-quality Bruins team, welcome back. And guess what? It's a 5-1 win, but I'm fucking livid, so let's do this. Look, we gotta talk about this first. We have to. I have to get this off my chest, because I'm fucking pissed. I want to be clear. We're talking about a few different groups of people that pissed me off, because Tom Wilson, I'm pissed at Tom Wilson. He's a piece of shit. I get that. And as Boston fans, we're no stranger to borderline plays. This was not one. As Boston fans, we should be ready to call out our own players when they do shitty stuff. Which means we can also call out their players for doing shitty stuff. The NHL has released a statement that there will be an in-person hearing, which is important because that is the only way that they are allowed to give a 5 or more game suspension. Basically, the league is saying, yeah, it was an illegal hit. Let's talk about it. I would like to ask the one Capital fan that I am sure of has watched at least one video, which was the last one. Bob, I love when you jumped in shit talking. I appreciate it. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. I want the other Bruins fans to leave Bob alone. Just let him make his statement. Here's my statement. That was a fucked up hit. I think most of us can agree. I'm willing to give Rana a pass because maybe he didn't see Carlo drop his stick and clutch his head, and maybe he didn't realize he was in pain going down, and so he was cross-checking him in the back. But we've seen that move a billion times where you keep the guy down to make sure that you win the puck battle. I'm willing to give that a pass. Not giving a pass to Tom Wilson on this one. You know what really pissed me off? There's 3 groups of people that really pissed me off. Referees. No call there. And they've been making up rules all year. And I'm not referring to us. I'm talking Carolina, Columbus. You know that whole debacle. There's been multiple instances where Toronto's gotten involved and they're just kind of doing whatever the fuck they want. You're telling me you missed that call? This guy has to leave and gets taken in an ambulance and no call? How about later in the game when Freddie drops the gloves with him? You give 2 for instigating to Freddie, which I agree with because it was the second time we fought him. I get it. You're trying to grip the game. You're trying to get control because your dumbass has lost control in the first fucking place. But the 10-minute misconduct? You give our guy a 10-minute misconduct when it's very clear that we're just trying to do your job for you and keep Tom Wilson off the fucking ice? That's a, hey, could you please pull your head out of your ass? Second group of people, Caps fans who were defending Tom Wilson after this hit. Fuck you. There's a guy in the hospital right now because of it. I don't care what team you root for. You don't root for that. Be embarrassed, guys. I've spent years being embarrassed about Marchand doing this. He licked the guy. And I was embarrassed. I laughed about it with my friends, but I was embarrassed. And Marchand did worse than that early in his career. It's okay to go, man, that's a fucked up play. He needs to fix that. He needs to be suspended for that. He needs to be better. And you know Chara was sitting there. They panned over to him, and he was sitting there in disbelief of what he just saw. And he defended his team as he should. He went after Marshy at one point. You know Chara's in that locker room going, we are not that team. Third group of people. To the Bruins fans, and I know, heat of the moment, but to the Bruins fans who during intermission were hoping that Frederick or Tenorti or Marshy or McAvoy would take a run at Ovi or Oshie or maybe get Vitek in the back of the head. I saw all this on Twitter. Twitter is a cesspool. Twitter is just a bunch of people calling each other back and forth. It's awful. It is a cesspool. But I saw these comments from Bruins fans. You're talking about going after a guy who has nothing to do with the play and taking a cheap shot. I understand Tom Wilson deserves retaliation. It deserves a response. 2 ways as men that you respond to that. Bruce Cassidy walks into that locker room. He looks around the room and goes, all right, who wants first piece? And I bet your ass Tenorti or Freddie were the first 2 to go like, let's do this. You know what Cassidy says? He says, you go up to that piece of fucking garbage. You look him in the eye and you drop the gloves. You fight him like a man. You make him pay the price for what he did. You don't go after other players. You make the guy who did it pay a price. And as soon as he gets out of the box for that one, you send another guy to do the job again, which is what we did. The other thing that happens is not Bruce Cassidy, but your captain, Patrice Bergeron, going, all right, this is what we're going to do. We are now going to fucking destroy them in the game. We are going to make a statement. We are going to run up the score. And we are going to put our skate on their throat and slice. Done. The game's over. So those are my three groups. I'm embarrassed for the refs because, fuck, the league needs to do something about the referees this year. I'm embarrassed for Capitals fans who are defending the hit. And I'm embarrassed for Bruins fans who are asking for retaliation in a dirty way. I'm not worried about losing subscribers or any of that shit. I'm telling the truth up here. Who cares about building a brand or just a... Any scientists out there want to guess what happened after I shook that beer and brought it to my mouth, closing off the airflow? Let's talk about this dub! Did I even get to say that? It's a dub! Tyler Coyle's back in after just a couple days on the COVID list. I also got my wish. Corrali not in, and we didn't miss him at all. Bjork Stud Wags makes up the fourth line, which had a couple good shifts in there. Look, the whole first period of this game was feast or famine. Big time. There was a crap your pants moment when McAvoy did go down the tunnel. Pretty decent sized hit against Hathaway, but it all just shocked right back. Hathaway gave it to him, man. Oof. McAvoy does come back. It was just he needed a little work done. He cut himself on the head. There's really two big things that happened in the period. Our perfection line came to play. About midway through the period, like I said, feast or famine, this is one of our feast moments. We're in their zone, extended amount of time. Puck finds itself on McAvoy's stick. McAvoy sends it across the slot to Bergie. Now the pass misses initially, but bounces off the wall back towards Bergie. Bergie wins a nice physical battle to get the puck. Nice little move inside, throws it to Marshy, who's just alone in the slot. Nice little deke onto his backhand and up and over the glove. Just a beauty for them. We're perfectionists, baby! Coyle does immediately take a terrible penalty right after that he did not have to take. He slashed Ovi a couple times in their zone. We kill it off, and then the big thing happens that I'm not getting back into because I'm calming it down. Period ends 1-0 because Halak was brilliant. He was so good in this period, and he was good all game. Second period, Bergie opens the period by going over to Tom Wilson, who is stretching and getting ready for the second, and he has a little talk with him. He did not reveal what he said. That's fine. Captain doing captain stuff. Again, we're not getting back into it. Dylan immediately takes a penalty, a minor for roughing. He jabs at a couple of guys in the pile after a play, kind of a scrum play. Weak call. I don't like the call. It was a makeup call. The only reason I bring this power play up is because I miss scoring on them. I miss feeling confident in our power play, but we don't score on it. At the 14-minute mark, Tenorti has his fight with Wilson. Pretty even fight. Wilson's this is the hardest thing about a guy like that going after one of your dudes. It's because no matter who you send at him, there's a risk that Wilson just beats the shit out of him. But Tenorti held his own. It was a good fight. I thought it was kind of even. Oh, and then the beauty starts. Look, no matter how you feel about everything that went down, this response, it's 1-0 at the time. We have possession in their zone. McAvoy gets the puck up at the right point. Now, he sees Freddie coming up from the left side of the net, right from behind the net, and he just slap pass right to him. Freddie literally just has to kind of deflect this in, but it's a wide open net. Vitek came out way too far to meet McAvoy's shot because he really sold the shot. And that is 2-0, and I am throbbing, both out of anger and arousal. What makes this better is Tom Wilson is watching the game at this point because he's in the penalty box for the fight with Tenorti. And Bergie takes a trip over the penalty box, taps on the glass. At first, I thought he tapped on Tom Wilson's side. No, he tapped on Tenorti's glass, saying, hey, we see you, we appreciate you. Just a couple of minutes later, Zaboral joins the rush. He's actually in the center position. Marshy on his left, Pasta on his right. He feeds it back to Marshy, who feeds it down to Pasta, who's alone right next to Vitek, but zero angle for him. He sees Bergie trailing behind Zaboral, all alone. Nice dish up to him. Bergie buries it, top shelf cheddar. Another goal while Tom Wilson watches. Snake bitten alert. Jakey gets another breakaway and doesn't do anything with it. Man, that guy's got the yips. And then it's like the slot was open all game. Grizz is on the wall, the left wall. He has the puck. We're in their zone. And he just sees Marshy sitting all alone to the right of Vitek and just hammers it to him. And Marshy just, boop, tap in goal. It's 4-0. And it was just a wave. That's the third goal Tom Wilson got to watch from the bench, by the way. God, I missed Grizz. I love having him in the lineup. We were such a better team with him. After 2 periods, it's 4-0. We are crushing it. Third period starts, and you know the Capitals need an early one to make this comeback happen, but it's just not going to happen, guys. Again, the slot is open. Krejci across the slot to Ritchie. Ritchie buries the one-timer. At this point, I just needed the team to get out of here without another injury, right? The game's over. Continue to shut it down. Be physical where you must, but get out of this game because things are going to get bad. And refs are not doing shit about it. This is at that point I mentioned earlier. Freddie tries to fight Wilson. They do have a little tussle. Wilson kind of beats the shit out of him, but Freddie's smiling the whole time. I'll just throw that up real quick. And then Freddie gets some misconduct. I just don't understand it, but he does get the 2-minute instigating. We kill the penalty. Unfortunately, we do lose the shutty. Oh, I wanted it so badly. It's a board battle. We should have won. The puck comes out to Verano, who beats Halak. Halak probably should have had this one. I'm not even going to go into detail of this one. It's fine. It's 5-1. We crushed them. Game over. We win. Game notes. I want to be very clear. I don't think the Capitals team is a dirty team. I think Tom Wilson's a dirty player, and I'm bummed to see him go back to that because he actually had a good stretch of time where some of his hits were borderline, but he played the right way for the most part. And it's a bummer to see a guy of that talent go back to such a dirty play. That being said, if Carlo is out for a long time, this sucks. We are so weak on defense already, and to lose a absolute staple back there, this could get real ugly. 21 games in, and that means we have 35 left. Yeah, there's not a lot of season left. Happier things, Zaboral looks great when he joins the Rush. I really, really love what he brings offensively. This has been a really fun kid to watch get better. And actually, on that note, our forecheck looks way better. And you know Zaboral's positioning to back them up when our 3 forwards do their whole layers. It's been great. A lot of turnovers forced, and Cassidy hammered them for that after the loss on Wednesday. This was a bit more serious. Feel free to respond. I don't want to see fucking shit talking in the comments because we should respect each other. But thank you for watching. Know that I appreciate you. Go Bees!